man's haircut.
Yeah, I had to get the haircut. Fucking, I was getting hair in my mouth while I was eating, and I was like, this is just not fun. I
That's
wanted to
what
get a haircut for a while.
happened when I grew out my beard. I just always like even now like I get shit in my beard every time I eat or drink something.
Dude, I was bearding hard. My beard was like down to here. I mean, it wasn't the thickest, but you know,
Yeah.
I just went full blown hippie mode for a little bit.
Yeah, that was the quarantine stuff. I did the same thing.
Yeah, and like I was just like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, I feel you. It's too much.
But yeah, want to get into the card?
Yeah, we're gonna get right into this card. This UFC Fight Night, Hermansson versus Strickland.
Easy
Actually,
main event. Easy.
yeah, actually pretty. It's a pretty solid card all around.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. All right, so we're gonna get right into the first one: Malcolm Gordon versus Dennis Bondar. And Malcolm Gordon, 1-2 inside of the UFC, winning his first UFC bout over Francis Figueiredo in a fight where Gordon was a plus 250 underdog, which makes sense because his first two UFC fights ended in first round. Both ended in the first round, and he landed a total of 5 strikes over the
Yeah.
course of those first two fights. So it was pretty lackluster to start off his UFC career. Really grappling heavy approach. BJJ black belt, train Muay Thai, but that's stand up isn't really a strong suit. Taking on Dennis Bondar, who making his UFC debut with a 16-3 pro record on a 10-fight winning streak. Also finished all 16 of those fights, 11 by sub, 10 of those getting finished in the first round. Both guys good grappling games, so I think it's gonna come down to the striking. And Bondar has the power and the explosiveness overall, so I'm giving him the advantage on the feet, and I'm gonna go with the UFC newcomer in this first one, Dennis Bondar.
Yeah, this is a tougher one because Malcolm Gordon did look good in his last fight
He did.
against
Yeah, he
Figueredo.
looked good, but yeah, he was fighting for his job, and I don't know if he can do that again, honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna honestly agree with you. I like Malcolm Gordon, but not enough to see him cash in as like a plus 200 underdog. So it's just I personally won't bet on this. I want to see what the new guys got. Malcolm Gordon could be. I don't know. I just don't. I just don't
Uh,
trust. I just don't trust it. I'm
yeah, I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
I'm gonna
it's
ride with
gonna.
you, and I'm gonna go Bondar.
Yeah, I agree. I think Malcolm Gordon is gonna fizzle out into an oblivion after a couple
Very
of.
well could happen.
Yeah, so we're both gonna agree. We're both gonna go with Dennis Bondar in this first one, and we're gonna move right into the next one, which is Jason Witt versus Phil Rowe.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So Jason Witt, obviously, he likes to take the fight down to the ground, and taking on Phil Rowe, who has some heavy hands. The thing that sketches me out about Jason Witt is I think he's definitely a little chinny,
Yes, yes.
right?
Quite a bit chinny.
Yeah, like look what Semmelsberger and Sato did to him. It's just like I don't really trust the guy. He's gonna really look to use his wrestling and grappling and all that stuff in this fight. But I think Rowe is good enough to he'll probably get taken down once or twice, but I think he's gonna be able to finish it on the feet just because of how chinny Jason Witt is. I don't trust it.
Yeah, dude, I agree. Jason Witt's like a really tough guy to see who like how he's gonna perform. He's either like amazing or just brings nothing to the table. He's 2-2 inside the UFC. Most recently, coming off his best performance yet in the UFC, resulting in a fight of the night. Really grappling heavy, like you said, getting 2 takedowns and 8 takedowns in both of his UFC wins, but was KO'd in his 2 UFC losses. So you kind of see a pattern there. It's either he gets the takedowns, wins decision, or like late sub or something like that, or he just gets.
He's got a good ground game. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he does. He has a great ground game. Not bad. He's fighting out of Glory too, I think, right?
Yeah.
You gotta love them. But when he's his striking, it just isn't good. He looks like a sitting duck out there for the most part, stagnant, doesn't look too confident on the feet. But he's taking on Phil Rowe, 2-1 inside the UFC umbrella. Absolutely huge welterweight, standing at
He's
6'3",
massive.
80-inch reach. He's gonna have a 10-inch reach advantage over Witt. He's finished all of his wins, 4 by KO, 4 by sub. he's got a couple losses already, but he's been in the UFC. Like he joined pretty much early on in his career. He's pretty green.
Yeah, I like him in this fight. I really
Yeah,
do.
he's able to like
Minus 130. That's good odds too.
and he's it's kind of it's all he's able to like keep his opponent like at bay with that fucking reach of his. He's got technical striking, clean punches, nothing looping. So like he's even able to keep him at bay even more.
Yeah, keep him at bay. Keep him at distance with the jab, and then boom.
Yeah, and then he frustrates his opponent until he that's what he does basically.
Yeah.
Also, his ground game's dope because he's super lanky. He's got a lot of good submissions, and he's super lanky, so he's able to get like tough submissions.
Yeah, I think his like wiry long frame might help him get up if anything. I think Jason Wood's good enough on the ground to not get submitted by Rowe.
Yeah, that's fair to say. But you'd be surprised, like those guys that are so long and lanky, they're able to like pull this shit off that normally
Kevin Holland.
Yeah, normally you wouldn't be able to like do it. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Phil Rowe.
Yeah, same.
I like this one.
I really like Rowe on this.
Yeah, Sam. So we're gonna agree. We're both gonna go with Phil Rowe. I'm gonna move right into the next one, which is Danilo Marquez versus Jailton Almeida. Yeah, I'm gonna start with my boy Danilo Marquez, 2-1 so far in the UFC, losing his last time out in a fight where Marquez dominated the first 2 rounds and got clipped by Kennedy Nchukwu in the third.
Yeah.
Very well-rounded fighter with Taekwondo, boxing, and BJJ background. But his ground game, I think, is the best part of his game, hands down.
Yeah, for sure.
Also has had very good coaches over the years, including Ivan De Oliveira, who was Damian Maia's coach, and through that started training with Maia himself. And it shows in his stats. He averages 4.3 takedowns per fight, 28% accuracy. Taking on Jailton Almeida, who's making his UFC debut after winning a Contender Series fight by sub in the second round. He's got a 14-2 record, 4-0 in submission grappling bouts over some pretty tough guy in Chao Barallo and Luis Felipe Diaz.
You're on that guy.
Yeah, but both guys are somewhat well known. He has finished all of his fights 9 by sub. Also very grappling heavy fight style. Background in BJJ. Both guys are very similar. I most definitely expect to see a decent amount of grappling in this fight. I'm worried about Marquez's gas tank because he gassed out halfway through the second in his last time out. Also has only fought 4 times, including grappling bouts, going 2-2 since 2020. And the younger fighter by 6 years, Almeida, has fought 8 times since 2020, going 8-0. Far more active. You'll have to see that.
You're counting the submission grapplings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Counting them too. Odds for this fight are crazy. Minus 400 Almeida. I don't know. I'm not that confident, but I don't really see too much money in this because I do like Jailton Almeida, the newcomer in this one, but I think minus 400 is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Minus 400. Like, people are really liking this guy. I mean,
he's good
for a reason. He's fucking good.
Yeah, he's good, but like, it's not like he's making his UFC debut against a tough guy.
Yeah, Danilo Marquez ain't no joke. You know, he's gonna give you at least 7.5, 8 minutes of a tough fight, especially on the ground. Well, but maybe at the end of the day,
got a little better with that cardio too. We don't know.
Yeah, it's just like at the end of the day, I'm gonna take Almeida.
Right.
But I wouldn't bet on this. I would honestly, bet on money on Marquez before I bet money on Almeida. Obviously, like
yeah, just like a throw. Like you never know.
3-1 underdog. You know, like sure. Anything could happen. He's just got like he could be a little stronger. Boom, he gets the top control for 2 rounds. Like Almeida gets it for 1 round. They're both good on the ground. Probably won't get subbed.
Totally, it's pretty crazy. And Danilo Marquez has definitely have the size advantage on 6'6" compared to Almeida 6'3", big dude.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but we're both gonna go with Jailton Almeida in his UFC debut in this one, and we're gonna move right into the next one, which is Alexis Davis versus Julia Storolenko.
Yeah. You got the Kate. Actually, like Alexis Davis has been around for so long.
Yeah.
37. I feel like she's honestly like kind of a pioneer in the women's MMA field.
And she's still good.
Yeah. Stoliarenko, on the other hand, 28 years old, Lithuanian. She's lost her last 2 in a row. And she only won. She only barely got through Lisa Verzosa in her Invicta Series fight before the UFC. Before that, she was doing well. She was stopping people within like she was Ronda Rouseying people, stopping them in like 20 seconds,
Right.
30 seconds with arm bars and shit. But at the end of the day, she got subbed in her last fight. Put it that way. And then you got Alexis Davis, who's a Cesar Gracie alum. She did lose her last fight against Pani Kianzad, but Pani Kianzad's a beast. She beat Sabina Mazo in her fight before that. So I mean, she did lose 3 fights in a row, so she is 1-4 in her last 5. But at the end of the day, I kind of like the veteranship that she has. You know, she's nasty in the clinch. She'll take the fight down. She's not. I wouldn't say she's elite by any means, but at the same time, she could kind of do her thing when it goes anywhere.
Yeah, Alexa Davis is more of a gatekeeper at this point, but still very good.
Yeah, and like she'll bully you up against the fence. Like she's not afraid to do that. Like she'll do that all day.
That Pani Kianzad fight, she put up a fucking. I think that she won at least one round in that fight. She put on a hell of a show. That striking was unbelievable.
Yeah, she did her thing. Like she's pretty good everywhere. So like I just like her well-roundedness against Julia Stoliarenko.
Yeah,
I'm kind of confidently bet Alexis Davis via decision this weekend. Put it that way.
Alexis Davis, like I'm gonna bring up that Kianzad fight again. I think honestly, judges could have scored. I know it was a unanimous decision for Pani Kianzad, but the judges could have scored it 2-1 for Davis. I could have totally seen that happening.
I kind of saw that when I saw the fight too.
Yeah, right. It was very close, and it's just heartbreaking when you're fighting someone like that. Like you can't get a win, 1-4 in your last 5, but still putting on a hell of a performance.
Facts.
It just comes down to she's been a little unlucky recently. I think she still got it. Like you said, she's good everywhere. She's got black belts in BJJ and Japanese jiu-jitsu. Submissions are slick. Julia Stoliarenko 0-3 so far under the UFC umbrella. 1-1 on that tough season 28. She's finished 9 of her 10 wins, all by sub. Has a BJJ brown belt. Level of competition hasn't been that good, honestly, besides her UFC fights. The 2 fighters are definitely at different parts of their careers, almost 10 years apart. But I've said it before, Stoliarenko just doesn't look like she has the skills to compete at this high level competition.
Yeah, she might need some more time or something. I mean, I
don't know. Yeah,
she's a solid grappler.
Yeah, she's all right, but she just hasn't showed anything.
She just hasn't showed it in the big show yet.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna go with the 37-year-old Alexis Davis in this one.
Yeah, I rarely take the old heads, so
yeah, right. Well,
eat up on it.
We're agreeing so far on this card. I think four agreements in a row. We're both gonna go with Alexis Davis in this one. We're gonna move right into the next one, which is Marc-Andre Barrio versus Chidi Bang Bang and Njokuani.
Anthony, I remember his brother Anthony Njokuani.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah. He beat up Ross Pearson, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I loved Ross Pearson. What a fucking beast that dude was. Not that good of a fighter, but tough as nails.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And he mixed up with Terry Edom for a while.
Yeah. I'm going to start this one off with Marc-Andre Barrio. 2-2-1 in his last 5 on a 2-fight winning streak. Should be a 3-fight winning streak, but he failed the drug test after a TKO performance over Oscar Pichota. Had a rough start to his UFC, went 0-3, but he fought some really high-level competition at the time. Andrew Sanchez, Christoph Jocko, Jung Young Park. Very good striker. Has averaged over 120 strikes over his last 2 fights. Has a plus 0.9 striking differential, 46% accuracy, 70% takedown defense. Has some really great cardio and a chin. And, his chin has gotten him out of plenty of situations where normal people just would have went down. He's taken on Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, who's making an awesome nickname, by the way, very unique. Haven't seen that
Yeah,
one yet.
so I fuck with it.
How do you say his last name again?
Enjo Kwani, I think.
Joe Kwani. Making his UFC debut after a KO win on the Contender Series last year. Fought in Bellator, fought in LFA, decent competition. He fought Max Griffin in one, Andre Fialho in one, and Melvin Gillard. Actually has the same measurements as Phil Rowe, 6'3", 80-inch reach, but he's a middleweight. Uses a lot of feints, has some very fast front kicks too that just come out of nowhere. I can easily see that clipping someone, can do some serious damage in the clinch too. But overall, I like Marc-Andre in this one. More experienced, and he's really turned his UFC career around in his last 3 performances. So I'm gonna go with the vet in this one, in Marc-Andre Barriault.
Yeah, I mean, this fight's honestly pretty close.
I think so. Yeah, this is a tough one. This is the toughest one so far.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marc-Andre really did look good in his last couple fights.
Looking great, man.
Yeah. He beat Dalcho. We were pretty big on Dalcho at one point.
He beat Dalcho one-sidedly.
Yeah. But Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I mean, he is kind of old, but he's got that 6'3", 80-inch reach, you know, lanky, good striking.
He's so fast too.
Yeah. But I did the same thing when actually no, I'll make the same mistake again because I believe in this family.
Okay.
I really like Enjo Kwani. I just really like the way he fights. So maybe I'm a little biased there, but I feel like he's just gonna tag him a little bit more. I think it's gonna go to decision because Marc-Andre's a tough motherfucker.
For sure.
But I kind of like Chitty in this.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty even.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm probably not going to bet on this because I'm already feeling myself a little biased towards one side. I definitely want Chitty to win. But yeah, so I'm not going to bet on it. But I do think that Chitty could be able to just, you know, kind of outland him, use that speed, use that reach. I mean, Marc-Andre's a beast, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, as Joe Rogan would say, that's entirely possible, dude.
Yeah, I hate Joe Rogan, but yeah.
Yeah, Sam, I hate him too. But we both agree. We both hate Joe Rogan. Actually, and we're gonna disagree on the fight though. I'm gonna go with Marc-Andre. Dan's gonna go with Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Sir, yes, sir.
Which brings us right into the next one, which is Michael Trizano versus Hakeem Dawodu.
Michael Trizano. My bad. I'm using a different computer right now, so bear with me. Yeah, Mike Trizano is coming off of a win over Ludovic Klein, who I know we both definitely
picked.
I'm pretty sure we both didn't have him in that fight.
Oh, I had I had the Polish power in that one.
Yeah.
Michael Trizano did really good. Big upset.
Yeah, and then Ludovic Klein also lost to Nate Landwehr after, so
I don't know what happened to him. He looked good in his first couple.
But he Trizano did his thing against him.
Yeah, he did great.
I really didn't see that coming.
Me either.
But that's the sport for you.
Hell yeah.
Hakeem Dawodu, he's
a stud.
I like him.
Absolutely.
But hang on, you could hear me, right?
Yeah.
I saw my thing like bug out for a second. Maybe that was just on the computer. But yeah, Dawodu's coming off of a loss to Movsar Evloev, who I think is an absolute stud. I was really excited to watch Evloev fight Ilya Topuria, but that fight never did happen.
Yeah.
Before that, Dawodu had 2 split decision wins over Julio Arce and Zubera Tukogov. But I'm looking at his UFC wins. Like, he's got 3 split decision wins. Isn't that a little crazy?
Yeah, I saw that too. It's pretty wild. And you know what? I think it's kind of like bullshit because those fights are actually, I think, also all those fights kind of lean towards him. And like,
I mean, I did think he won all the fights.
yeah, right. It's with the sit, but that's what happens when you get a decision so much.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen.
that's a fact. But yeah, I don't think that. I think this fight's obviously going to stay on the feet. When was the last time Trezano took somebody down? It's been a while, you know?
Yeah, this is staying on the feet.
This is definitely going to stay on the feet. But I think Dawodu's... I like Dawodu enough to say that I think he's going to get like a 29-28 decision, maybe 30-27 even. It's just, I think he's just a little sharper on the feet. That's what this fight's going to come down to.
Yeah, I totally agree. Trezano he's actually looked pretty good inside the UFC. 3-1.
He has. He looked great against.
He fought on the undefeated season 27 of Tough, and he got 2 wins there too. Started the UFC with 2 split decisions, which isn't the best look, but go back and I think he should have won both of those. Then lost by sub to Grant Dawson, suffered an ankle injury in training, set him back a while, came back against Ludwig Klein as a big underdog and really put on a show. He has a plus 0.95 striking differential, 53% accuracy, 71% takedown defense. His takedown defense has been tested over his last 2 outings, getting taken down 3 times and 4 times. Seems to be his biggest issue. He has, but also that might be because he throws a lot of leg kicks, and that's a big part of his game. Otherwise, I think very highly of him. Taking on Hakeem Dawodu, 4-1 in his last 5. Fought Masvar Evloev in that last one. He lost. That's going to happen. But was on a 6-fight winning streak before that. Great Muay Thai, plus 2.3 striking differential, 46% accuracy, 62% striking defense. Trezano is an absolute beast, but this is a great matchup for Dawodu. The best way to beat Dawodu is to grapple with him, and Trezano that's not part of his game. So I just think Dawodu puts on a striking clinic in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm seeing like a 30-27. Dawodu doesn't necessarily knock people out unless he kicks them clean in the head.
It's not the power, but it's the numbers start to pile up.
It's the volume, it's the speed, it's the precision, all that shit.
Right. So we're both agreeing. We're both going to go Hakeem Dawodu in that one, and we're going to move right into.
Love his last name too.
Yeah, very cool. Very
Dawodu, cool. Like, dude, I wish I had that as my last name. That'd be sick.
This next one is Miles Johns versus John Castaneda.
Yes, sir.
Is this me or you?
You.
Oh, okay, my bad. Miles Johns, 4-1 under the UFC umbrella on a 2-fight winning streak. Both 3rd-round KO performances and performance of the nights over Kevin Natividad and Anderson Dos Santos. Has now recorded a knockdown in more than half of his fights under the UFC umbrella. Has a plus 1.5 striking differential, 53% accuracy, 71% striking defense. 1 takedown fight, 92% takedown defense. Only been taken down once. Very well rounded. Can go 3 rounds, no problem. His power doesn't fade. He's taken on John Castaneda, 2-1 under the UFC umbrella. Fought on the Contender Series back in 2017. Didn't pick up his contract until 2020 when no one wanted to fight because of COVID, so they brought in like just random dudes. Decent wherever the fight goes, but not amazing anywhere. Basically, I think that Johns has the edge everywhere this fight goes, and this one's pretty teed up for him.
Yeah, I agree. I like John Sexy Mexi Castaneda. I also love his nickname. That is sick. But Miles Johns is just an absolute beast.
Yeah, he's just better, man.
Dude, this guy's scary.
Yeah, he's a scary dude.
Like in his last 2 fights specifically, like he came out and I was like, damn, like this guy's no fucking joke.
Yeah. And his only loss is to Mario Bautista, and that was that.
He ain't playing me.
So, I don't know about that. That's whatever.
Yeah, Miles Johns has a win over Adrian Yanez. That's saying something. That means something.
He does actually.
Back in the LFA, like it was about 3+ years ago, 3 years and like maybe 2 months. But yeah, like he's been doing his absolute thing, especially in 2020. the late 2020 and 2021. It's only 2 fights, but they're both performance bonuses. He knocked them out. Like this guy's scary. I do like Castaneda. He was able to stop Eddie Wineland in that last fight where he looked pretty impressive. But I feel bad for him because I'm like, damn, he's gonna be dealing with some power in this fight.
Yeah, he's got some. Miles Goodjohn has some serious power for a guy that's 135 pounds.
Yeah. And Nathaniel Wood was able to kind of piece him up too. He did take him down. I don't think Castaneda is gonna be like. I think this fight's gonna mostly stay on the feet. It might have one of them shoot. Probably Castaneda if Johns rocks him, but I could see Miles Johns taking him down too.
Yeah,
What?
I would think the same. I think that Castaneda is gonna try to shoot first.
Yeah. So it's like we'll see. But I really like Miles Johns in this fight. I like Miles Johns and not going the distance.
All right, cool.
That's where my money's going.
Awesome. So we're both going to agree. We're both going to go with Miles Johns, and we're going to move right into the next one, which is Julian Erosa versus Steven Peterson.
Yes, sir. Steven Peterson had that fucking crazy knockout back in 2019, if you remember that, over Martin Bravo.
Which one was that?
It was a spinning back fist. It was sick.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. I do.
He just slept him with it. It was dope. But I can't. Hang on, give me 1 second. Where the fuck is it? All right, I lost it. But anyway, he's taking on Julian Erosa, Juicy J. I'm always surprised that he's 32 years old. You know?
Why, you think he's older?
I thought he was younger.
Oh, you thought he was younger? Oh,
yeah.
He's been around.
But then I'm like, he's been in the UFC for a while. You know?
Yeah, he has been.
He's had at least 10 UFC fights, I'd say.
Yeah, he's definitely floated under the radar because he definitely got better recently too. That's also probably why.
Oh yeah, facts.
Definitely better.
Julian Erosa's nice though. Like he could kind of do his thing everywhere. He kind of got pieced. He got dropped by Charles Jourdain.
He gets dropped by everyone, bro.
Yeah, he gets dropped, but just comes back.
Yeah.
You know?
How many times is that going to work?
I don't know. But he was able to knock out Nate Landwehr in under a minute. But he did get knocked out by Sungwoo Choi. But I don't think Steven Peterson is that high. Like, I don't have Steven Peterson up that high. I like Juicy J. I think that he's able to take the fight probably down to the ground too. He's just gonna avoid the power from Peterson, but Peterson, he did have that one knockout in his last fight, but his last finish before that was 2017. So this guy goes to a decision a good amount of the time. Like, you want to think about it analytically, it's just like the chances of a knock, like if he has 1, 2, 3, 4, I think it's like 6 fights. He's finished 1 out of his last 6 fights. He's lost a couple in there by decision as well, but the chances of him finishing it aren't that strong. I mean, I know Juicy J is a little chinny because he gets dropped. It seems like every fight, like you said, but I like his well-roundedness, and I think that he's just going to be able to kind of do his thing. He's just got to avoid getting dropped, but I think he's able to do that. He's going to avoid getting dropped, and he's going to probably ride out a decision, maybe a submission.
Yeah, this one was pretty tough for me, honestly, just because I can't really trust Julian Erosa.
Neither can I. That's my biggest issue with this.
He joined the UFC in 2015, was KO TKO'd in half of his first 6 fights in the UFC. Then recently, he got his shit kind of together. He's got a couple wins over some pretty good names too: Sean Woodson, Nate Landwehr, Charles Jourdain. His chin is just so glass. He's been knocked down in 4 of his last 5 fights. He does get back up, for the most part, but it's hard to bet on anyone with that stat line. And but he has looked a lot better. I will say that. Taking on Steven Peterson, 3-2 in his last 5. You texted Dan. Most recently, coming off a decision win over Chase Hooper, who we learned just isn't quite there yet. Very green. Chase Hooper got a lot of growing to do. Erosa has very well-rounded game. Brown belt in BJJ, green white band in Muay Thai. Isn't great, but in either part of the game. But he's good at multiple disciplines. Unlike Erosa, he's tough and he's got a good chin. Hasn't been finished in any of his 4 UFC fights. I think Erosa has the advantage on the feet in this one, but Peterson, the advantage on the ground. Erosa, for some reason, is at a -300 already. I think that's kind of crazy too.
But I just don't like Peterson's game that much, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of seeing a Peterson big upset in this one.
I mean, he had an upset in that crazy knockout that he had. I thought he was getting it. I thought he was getting clipped before that. But
yeah, I think it's decent. I mean, so far I've looking at all these. We haven't really picked too many underdogs on this one. It's a lot of favorites, but I think I'm gonna ride with the underdog and Steven Peterson in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I could see it.
All right, we're gonna disagree on this one. Dan's gonna go Julian Erosa. I'm gonna go with Steven Peterson, and
I'm not gonna bet on that fight.
Nah, I might put money if I'm up on Steven Peterson just to see what happens because I think
yeah.
You know. But the next one's Brian Battle versus Tresean Gore. This fight, it's been a long time in the making. Gore suffered an injury and forced him out of the Tough 29 finale against Brian Battle, who was replaced by Gilbert Urbina, and Battle won by a second-round sub. Both guys put on a hell of a performance in that fight and was a lot closer than I originally thought it would be. Battle has a 6-1 pro record, 2-0 on Tough, 8-2 amateur record with wins over Cody Brundage and Impa Kasaganai. More known for his grappling, winning mostly by sub, but really showed off his striking in that Urbina fight, which looked even better than he did on the Tough season. He's taken on Tresean Gore, who was the front runner for that Tough 29 season. Went 2-0, also with a second round, this time a KO against Gilbert Urbina.
Yeah.
Much more green than Battle. Only a 3-0 pro record, 3-1 amateur record. And unlike Battle, too, hasn't fought the best competition. Either mix that up with that UFC debut jitters, and I think Battle has a solid chance in this fight. Gore is the much harder hitter. I wouldn't necessarily say better striker, but he's the far harder hitter in this for sure. But I could see Battle taking this fight to the ground, playing his game, and making Gore gas out. So I'm going to go with another underdog and Brian Battle in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take Brian Battle as well. Like you said, Tresean Gore is just a little green.
Yeah.
And Brian Battle has a very extensive amateur background. He's only lost 1 pro fight. He was able to sub Andre Petrosky on the show. He looked good on the show.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the actual season, but I did watch all the fights, you know?
Yeah. It was Gore really put on a show that season.
He did. I liked him a lot in that show. But
yeah,
like you said, he's
kind
a little
like
bit
low key, like, you know, guy that you'd watch. You never thought and then all of a sudden, like you just see him putting the pieces together, and he was actually sick.
Yeah. I think Gore's got probably a brighter future. Maybe not. I like Battle a lot.
Yeah, I like Battle too, man.
But at the end of the day, I like Battle's well-roundedness, and I think he's going to be able to just eke the fight to the ground, threaten with subs. I mean, yeah, it's going to be the main thing.
Yeah.
Because I'd be scared to be standing up in there with Tresean Gore, to be honest.
It's like a Mack truck.
Yeah, he's a scary fight.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna ride with Battle too.
Yeah, this is a fun one. A lot of question marks surrounding this fight. It's been in the making for like a year now, so I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna agree. We're both gonna go with Brian Battle, the underdog. and we're going to move right into the next one, which is Sam Alvey versus Brendan Allen.
Oh man, I am gonna surprise some people, and I'm taking Sam Alvey. I'll lead with that. I know Sam Alvey has lost 6 straight fights, but let's be real here. He beat Wellington Turman his last fight.
Oh, dude, it was close. Super close.
He did.
Fight. The judges hate him.
They do, because he just stays back and counters.
Yeah. Very one-sided game. Moves back constantly.
Yeah. And Brendan Allen is making a short notice fight. He fought
5 days.
in December, and now he's having a quick turnaround to fight in early February. That means he's only had, honestly, like a month. Well, 2 months off, I guess.
Yeah,
but still.
He was KO'd. Yeah,
he was finished. Like, Chris Curtis beat his ass. Like, I mean, he had a good first round against him, but still, like, I don't. What?
Chris Curtis is a scumbag.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He talks shit to
me. But anyway, I think that I just see Sam Alvey clipping him with like
crazy.
He's a good counter striker.
No, he is. He's a great. Yeah, he's fucking sick. I just think Brendan Allen is much better than Wellington Turman.
But this fight is at 205.
Yeah, that's true.
That's another thing that you got to bring into the equation. It's just like, I don't know. I really like Sam Alvey. I think has better striking out of the two. I really do. Like if I think about it, I'm like, who would I rather have striking? It's just like Sam Alvey. I think he wins that fight striking.
Right.
I don't think he's got much of a career left. Because if he loses this, I'll be 7 straight losses, and there's no chance the UFC keeps him around.
No way.
Keeps him around. So this is really his last possible chance. He's like 40 too.
Yeah, this could be. Is he 40 actually? Is he
no, he's 35. I thought he was like 41 or something.
Well, yeah, he's fighting like he's fucking 50.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna beat Brendan Allen. I really do.
You never know. Like you said, he put up a hell of a performance in that last fight. But 0-6-1 in his last 7. Hasn't tasted victory since 2018. There are some pretty close split decision losses in there, which are very, very well could have went his way. And he better hope this one doesn't go the distance. Like he needs to get a finish if he needs to. Don't let the judges do it again. And he's been outspoken about the judges and how terrible they are, and even said it to their face cage side. So I think it's gonna have a bad taste in their mouth too. So that's just another thing to pile on top of it.
I think Sam Alvey could finish him.
Let's hope. I mean,
I think he could land a big left or like a little check right hook, and boom, out.
I mean, Alvey he did fight at middleweight in his last fight, and he isn't the biggest guy. So both guys at 205 kind of makes sense. I don't think there's no difference in size, really. Both are natural 185ers. Counter striker, moves back constantly, doesn't grapple. That's his fight style. That's clearly why he doesn't win decisions either. That being said, looked great in his last time out, taking on Brendan Allen, who's taking this fight on 5 days' notice. He's coming off a wild upset against that piece of shit Chris Curtis, but still has put together
Chris Curtis.
Still a pretty good UFC resume. Good wins. Kevin Holland, Kyle Robertson, Gwynny Healy-Soriano, who's on this fight also.
Yeah, he's a co-main for some reason.
So, yeah, I don't fucking get that. He's far more well-rounded than Alvey. Crafty submissions, decent hands. You know, Alvey probably does have the better hands in this one. Isn't a shocker, though. I'm going to go with Brendan Allen on 5-day notice. Sorry, Smiling Sam.
See, I don't like the 5-day notice, man. I really don't. And I like Sam Alvey. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I liked him, too. He was such a douche in his last fight after. He made him, he didn't stick to his Smiling Sam act.
Nah, he was butthurt, Sam.
Yeah, he was butthurt Sam hard. All right. So
you told me I wasn't taking underdogs. That's too under. I was like, just wait.
Yeah. What is the odds on that?
I don't know. Since it's new.
It was made yesterday, so there isn't going to be any.
I could check. I could check the sports book.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, let's get a. We got time. You have like another 30 minutes, right?
I'm all good. We only got 3 more fights left.
Dude, I gotta go buy a fucking new laptop.
I know, that sucks. That's fine.
Yeah, my bad. This is my fault why the video's out late. My laptop just broke. It's
Yeah.
fucking whack.
Yeah, and it's a new laptop too.
Yeah, like dude, I didn't get that long ago.
It's all that nasty granny porn that you watch.
Come on, bro. Why are you telling the world this? Let's see. Where's Sam Alvey on this shit, bro? Wow, it's not even on DraftKings yet.
Yeah, it's like
I could get I can guarantee, but I would bet money that Sam Alvey is a pretty sizable underdog.
I would say like a plus 150 maybe.
I could see like a plus 190, and then Brendan Allen's like a minus 230 favorite.
Yeah, I just think Brendan Allen gets back in the win column in this one. We both had him against Chris Curtis. He's a good fighter. He just, got clipped by the newcomer.
Yeah. Well, I think we underestimated.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We're gonna disagree. Dan's gonna go with Smiling Sam Alvey, and I'm gonna go with Brendan Allen, and we're gonna move right into the next one, which is Shazkat Rakhmonov versus Carlston Harris. And I'm gonna start with Shavkat, 14-0, undefeated pro record, 2-0 in the UFC, with 2 one-sided submissions. Former M1 fighter with wins over veteran MMA fighters Thiago Verarjo, Jung Young Park. He's a Kazakhstani fighter, and like most Kazakhstani fighters, got a very strong wrestling game and
decent striking too.
Yes, exactly. And like Khabib, he's got like this strength that you only get from wrestling bears. He's finished all 14 of his fights equally by sub and TKO, and has only seen the third round once, which is kind of a big question mark. He's taken on a guy that a lot of people are counting out, but also is
I am not.
Yeah, also is 2-0 in the UFC with 2 finishes, has shown us nothing less than stellar performances, great boxer, super fast hand speed, good footwork, solid power. Don't count out Carlston Harris in this fight. I know everyone is talking about Shavkat Rakhmonov, but do not.
This is a great fight. I love this fight.
I love this fight. And both guys are actually, I kind of wish they waited a little longer because both guys have such a bright future that whoever might get derailed here a little bit. And I would like to see both guys progress pretty well up there. Don't count out Carlston Harris. Like I just said, he's new to the UFC, but has wins over Michelle Pereira, Wellington Turman. He's not a stranger to high level competition. That being said, I'm going to have to pick my boy Shavkat Rakhmonov. But this fight is so close, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to do what you can't do, and I'm going to take Carlston Harris.
Right.
I love him in this fight.
Yeah.
I love him. Like, I know Impa Kasagane got cut from the UFC, but I think they should have kept that dude around. That dude's a good fighter.
He's great.
I don't know how you let fucking Sam Alvey fight after 6 straight losses, but you cut this guy after going 2-2 in the UFC. Like, are you serious? He never even lost back-to-back fights.
No. And under the UFC umbrella, he was on the Contender Series twice with 2 wins. And then
and he fucking fought like 2 weeks after winning a Contender Series fight, and he beat Coconut Bombs.
Dude, I never got that.
Dana White, you're fucking up right now, man.
I did not agree with that. Cut fucking.
I don't like Jake Paul, but pay your fucking fighters more. I agree with him on that.
I know.
Give them some fucking health care.
Yeah, give these guys.
Yeah, I'm taking a stand on this. If you guys want to disagree, you can disagree, but hey, Dana White's got to pay his fighters more. I don't care what he says. Oh, you could go out and do this. Well, nobody's going to build a multi-billion-dollar company that fucking still treats its fucking athletes like absolute shit.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, sorry, had to say that. Had to say it.
Yeah, agreed.
Had to make my opinion known on that. But, yeah, I'm going to take Carlston Harris in this fight. Carlston Harris is a fucking stud. I know Rakhmonov good chance, will take him down and like do his thing from there. I mean, this guy does his thing. Don't get me wrong. Like he subbed Cowboy Oliveira. Like that's pretty impressive. I mean, he's an undefeated fighter. Like it's hard to go against him, but at the end of the day, man, like I kind of see the hype train derailing after this because I think Carlson Harris is going to be able to do
If
his
he's
thing.
able to avoid the takedowns, I think Carlston Harris has a decent shot in this fight.
Yeah, he's got to do that, and then he's just got to stand up and do his thing. I
Yeah, he's a
mean,
hard hitter too. And Rachmanov, this could be this is a smart one to bet Harris just because Rachmanov's stamina is questionable.
yeah, for sure.
So he could tire him out.
I could see both guys slowing down though by the time if the third round rolls around.
I could see it too. And Carlson Harris actually isn't a young guy either. He's gonna be 30.
He's 34.
Yeah, so you never know. You never know.
So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so we're gonna disagree. I'm gonna go with Shav, Kat, Rachmanov. Dan's gonna go with Carlston Harris.
That's 3 underdogs in a row.
And we're gonna move right into the next one, which is Punahele Soriano versus Nick Maximov. And do you want this one, Dan, or do you want the main event? Because I think I had the main event last week.
I'll take the main event. The main event's is an easy one for me.
All right, so I'll take this one. I'm gonna start off with Punahele Soriano, 3-1 under UFC umbrella, coming off of his first career loss from Brendan Allen. And Allen actually found a pretty good way to beat Soriano and showed that his gas tank is something that can be exploited. But what he lacks in stamina, he excels in power, heavy hands with 2 first-round KOs in fights where he was able to knock them both down twice. So he was just like showing off his power in his hands in those fights. He's taking on Nick Maximov, who had a lot of doubters to start his UFC career. I was one of them. Only had a 5-0 record when he started with the UFC, but has shown us that he's the real deal with 2 wins under the UFC umbrella already. Really high-level grappler. And honestly, this is a very good matchup for him. Maximov is a very, very strong dude, great cardio, and has that Nick Diaz mentality.
Yeah, he's Nick Diaz's homie.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go with Nick Maximov in this one. Punahele Soriano's gas tank was just so bad, and I lost all hope from past the second round. So I can't bet on that. And Nick Maximov, he showed that he could probably go 5 rounds. He can do he trains with the Diaz brothers, and you know how much they love cardio. So I'm going to go with the underdog in Nick Maximov in this one. 24 years old, this fucking kid.
Yeah, I'm gonna stray away from the underdogs right here. I'm gonna go back to the favorites, and I'm gonna ride with Soriano. Soriano's a fucking stud, man. He really is.
He is.
I mean, yeah, his cardio might need some improvements, but I could see him finishing this fight. I like Soriano not going the distance in this fight.
I mean, he's had 9 pro fights, Soriano, and 7 of them ended in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, he's got those. He's got a quick like he could put the lights out quick,
Yeah, it's a very this one's very contrasting. I think this one's really, really interesting.
I could like it's like, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think Maximov can ride out the storm?
I think so.
Or do you think Soriano puts it away early? I see Soriano putting this away early. I think this is a little too big of a step up for Nick.
Both guys are pretty similar in their 27-24, 9-1 record, 7-0 record. Pretty similar early on. But
yeah, they are early on. I just like Soriano a little bit more in this.
Yeah, that's fair to say. It's closer than it's a close fight for sure.
Yeah, it's just like who has Nick Maximov really beaten? Cody Brundage and Oscar Cota.
Yeah, he also does a lot of grappling bouts and stuff like that. But yeah, that's true.
It's like I think I see Soriano dropping him like twice in the first round or something like that.
Did they both fire Oscar Pachota?
I gotta check.
Nah, never mind. Oscar Cota and Oscar Pachota. That was weird. All right, but whatever. I'm digressing. Dan, you're going with Punahele Soriano. I'm gonna go with Nick Maximov, and we're going to move right into the main event. Super good one. Jack Hermansson versus Sean Strickland.
Yeah. The Joker, Jack Hermansson, he had like a nice little run there. Actually, not even. Like he did beat Jacare David Branch Mearshart. But then he lost to Jared Cannonier, which is there's no shame in that. We know that. And then he fucking went out and subbed Kelvin Gastelum in like a minute. That was fucking
awesome.
surprising. I did not see that coming. At the end of last year, he got bullied by Hamzat Chimaev in that grappling bout.
Yeah.
If you saw that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was that grappling bout had a lot of cool people on it. I remember Cowboy was on it, and it was fun.
But anyway, Hermansson's has split his last 2 fights. He lost the decision to Marvin Vettori. Nothing wrong with that. Vettori's just a fucking blockheads. Like, he just does his thing, you know?
Yeah, he's really gotten a lot better recently.
Yeah, he's not. I would also say he's not that great at anything. Vettori. I mean, I guess his ground game, if anything.
Yeah.
But
he was pretty good. He was a
and his fight against Costa was dope. That was a dope fight.
Yeah, he beat the fucking baldness out of him.
Yeah. I mean, I had it 3-2 Vettori, but then Costa had the point off too, so yeah. Anyway, Sean Strickland is just this guy probably shouldn't be fighting because I'm scared of what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm scared. Like, I'm serious. I'm scared of what CTE would do to this guy. He's already out of his mind.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely crazy. Absolutely.
Yeah. And he is beating the shit out of everybody he's fought recently.
Mm-hmm.
He got stopped by Elizeu Zaleski back in 2018, and he also lost the decision to Kamaru Usman in 2017. That's like, and he lost to Santiago Ponzinibbio. So the fucking people he loses, yeah, all studs.
And that was when he was 170 though.
Yeah, since he's come up to 185, he's just been, he just walks forward, throws that jab, throws that right hand, and he just gets in your face and hurts you.
Yeah.
I just don't see Jack Hermansson. Jack Hermansson has a really good grappling game, but I don't think his wrestling is like elite by any means.
Okay, that's fair.
I think he's gonna struggle, and I think Sean Strickland's gonna be smart enough to not let himself get taken down, because if it stays on the feet, Sean Strickland's beating his ass, and I'm saying this fight stays on the feet. So Sean Strickland beats his ass. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
I love Hermansson though, so I kind of hope he's able to kind of do something. But man, it's just like Sean Strickland's a beast, and yeah.
Agreed. Sean Strickland has one of the craziest stories and of career stories that ever, and he's also just actually crazy. Former welterweight, went 7-3, not bad at all. Got into a terrible motorcycle accident, was out for over 2 years. Doctor said he would never be able to fight again. But in 2020, he came back 15 pounds heavier, and since then he's 4-0. And he's showcased this high volume striking, insanely fast, insanely fast paced. Doesn't take a step back at all when he's fighting.
Look what he did to Uriah Hall.
Yeah, exactly. And also in that fight, he showed us that he didn't forget about his grappling, because when he was at 170, he really utilized his grappling game, and he really showed it in that Uriah Hall fight. He took him down 4 times, and I was like, where was this? But I'm glad that he's still. I think he gets lost in his hands, like a lot of guys do.
Mm-hmm.
But he's absolutely insane. He actually has homicidal tendencies and voices in his
head. This guy might kill somebody.
Yeah, it's
not even kidding.
Yeah, and
I give it a 30% chance he murders somebody.
Yeah, like Anthony.
We will hear about it in the news in the upcoming years.
I will be taking him in this fight. I hope he doesn't kill anyone. I think
he's my lock of the night, man.
Yeah, his fight style is absolutely insane. He tweeted yesterday. He's like, walked out of the gym. He said, "I'm an idiot. I train with no gear during fight weeks, and I was limping out of the room, and I bumped into someone, and
he bumped into his opponent."
Yeah, and he didn't know who it was, and he looked up, and it was Jack Hermansson. He's like, and I looked so defeated. I looked like I was hurt, and he, like it, the guy doesn't. The guy refuses to wear any sort of headgear when he's sparring, and spars up to.
I mean, headgear can fuck you up, but like,
Yeah, but so can
you shouldn't be sparring fight week.
hell no. Hell no, that's a big no. But
I mean, yeah, you should be drilling, hitting pads, and doing your thing, rolling, but like,
if
you
you're
shouldn't
Sean
be out there
Strickland,
getting punched in the face.
You're fucking. You're fighting. You're sparring up to like the day before, because that's
Yeah,
just what he does.
probably.
He doesn't know any other way. He's just a crazy motherfucker, and I'm going with him in this one. And I think he TKOs him. Maybe a nice decision, one-sided. Five. I don't remember the last. When was the last time you had a 5-round fight? Was that Uriah Hall?
Uriah Hall.
Was that the 5-round? And what about the Jotko one? What was that? That was 3 rounds.
That was 3.
All right, cool. Yeah, I can. Hermansson's a tough guy. I can see this going the distance. And Sean Strickland doesn't have the hardest hands. He just kind of outpoints, touches you. All of a sudden, he's out.
But he hurt. He'll throw that 80% power just in your face all night.
Yeah, not even that. Like sometimes it's probably less, but he just works the body. He's an absolute.
He's gonna be talking shit in there.
Oh my god, I can't wait. I'm so excited. So yeah, I'm going Sean Strickland. No offense, Jack Joker Manson, good guy. Just maybe he peaked.
I think he peaked. I hate to say it. I like him.
Sean Strickland hasn't even begun.
I just don't think he's as good as these top guys at 185.
Yeah, agreed. And
I mean, it's not like I think Sean Strickland could beat Izzy.
Right. That'd be a fun fight.
It would be, because Sean Strickland's probably going to look to take him down, though.
You think so? Yeah. You never know. I could see.
Izzy isn't heavy.
That would
That's
be a war. I would love to see that, dude. Oh,
yeah.
We need a win here.
He's so much faster, though.
Dude, I think
so
it's
much
close.
faster.
I think it'd be close. This might be the closest fight for Izzy in a while, honestly, at 185.
Bobby Knuckles, though.
Bobby, yeah, you got to look out for Bobby Knuckles, too.
Yeah, he's definitely not overlooking him.
Yeah,
if he's an idiot.
All right, so we're both agreeing. Both going to go Sean Strickland, and that's about to wrap it up. Stellar card. Should be fun. Yeah, and we kept this one pretty short. I'm trying to keep the clips under like 3 minutes now, because I've noticed that the people like it, so I'm going to give the people what they want.
Facts. No more than like 5 or 6.
Yeah, once it gets, I feel like those clips don't get nearly as many views as like the 3-minute ones. Whatever.
Yeah,
all right, dude. I gotta get out of here. So this is No Brainer MMA wrapping it up. And
Connor's got to go back to work. I got to go buy a laptop.
Yeah, we got shit to do. People to see.